Bros, you have tuned in at an amazing time. We've got some breaking news that is absolutely just knocking my socks off. We're going to get to it on the other side of the intro, and I've never been excited to start a show as I am today. So let's go ahead and just dive right into it. We got other news as well. Bitcoin potentially seeing a new all-time high this week. We shall see. Let's get it. Crux, how you doing, my man?
Hey, what's up, T-Shroom? Wednesday morning, my favorite morning of the week, actually, because I get to spend a lot of time with the bros, and I
That's right.
also get to come on the live stream. So, how are you doing, T-Shroom?
I'm doing better than I deserve, Crux. We got to get right into some breaking news. This is crazy from Walter Bloomberg.
Mm.
Confirmed. This is a TradFi account, so not even crypto. Robinhood Crypto expands offering with Solana, Pepe, Cardano, and XRP for U.S.
Wow,
customers. This is insane. Confirmed by Watcher.Guru. Crux. These are some interesting names. Three of them,
very.
two of them, we were already going to talk about today. Cardano and
Mm.
Solana, Pepe and XRP. Obviously, we've talked about those for a while. We were one of the first channels actually to shout out Pepe. Man, what
hmm
is your reaction here? Why do you think why now? Why Robinhood?
Yeah, so we started covering Pepe almost a year ago whenever the token initially launched. And we talk about Robinhood and the effect that it has on crypto investors to come in and actually provide quite a bit of liquidity into these projects. It's super simple. The user interface on Robinhood, just everybody has a Robinhood account.
Yep.
I think the big takeaway of these two projects, one is Solana, and I think two is Pepe. And the reason I think those are a little bit bigger than XRP and ADA is because one, ADA's already been listed on Robinhood, but XRP, you can really get it anywhere with Cardano. So you can go on any of these exchanges and get these. There's still a couple exchanges out there that don't have Pepe listed, but we also know that Solana is the token that these big firms are starting to adopt. And we'll talk about it here shortly. But amazing news. I love to see it.
Yep. It's awesome. And it's right on the pulse, right? Showing that Robinhood understands crypto and they're trying to roll out these coins for availability the best they can. Solana and Cardano, you couldn't release just one and not the other without making a huge statement on the future of crypto, right? So Robinhood
Mhm.
very showing a lot of awareness with that. That's good, being very mindful about that. Pepe and XRP, also interesting. Pepe, kind of a nudge to the meme cycle, which is just extremely powerful. And also XRP, I almost see that as kind of like, hey, we know something about XRP, maybe the market doesn't. So that could be very, very bullish for XRP, as there's not been a lot of, in my opinion, a lot of solid news coming out for XRP to be bullish about. This
Mhm.
listing tells me, it maybe doesn't tell me that they're going to fulfill like the banking coin vision, but what it does tell me is that they, in terms of compliance, they really are across a significant threshold, and of course they are, because they've been in court forever, and they've been winning. So let's go ahead and jump on into our regularly scheduled programming. But Crux, obviously, we had to cover that breaking news. Something
Mhm.
else that's pretty crazy here. It's not really, I wouldn't say it's breaking news, but Peanut. If you bought Peanut, you are in some good profit right now,
Let's
up
go.
273% just today. Very, very bullish. If we look at it on the weekly, let's see, up $1,500, 1,500% in a week. Absolutely insane. We also have a lot of other meme names that are popping up big today. Bonk, Floki, and Pepe, of course. I think I would expect this number 37 to get higher very, very quickly. All right, let's go ahead and jump on into a little bit of TA here. I'm on Kaspa. Let's just go ahead and jump into Kaspa, and then we'll go look at Bitcoin quickly. Um, Kaspa has been able to reclaim the 16 cents mark, albeit through a wick on the 4 hour, but was able to get back up above 16 very briefly. Now has traveled back to live price 13 cents. So, not showing a ton of strength here, to be honest with you, bros. Not being able to keep the support of 14 cents was showing a bit of weakness. But I have very much not sold my Kaspa bags. On the 4-hour, taking a quick look at the oscillators here, Kaspa oversold, right? So when it does find support here, which at least we would imagine it would find support here on this new trend that it's in, maybe put in a low here somewhere around 12.5, something like that, before it makes a move higher and tries to beat this level of 16.2. But if you're not interested in Kaspa, that's okay. Kaspa looking all right, not looking super strong, but not looking too terrible. Your red histograms are starting to round over a little bit and decelerate, signaling that the bears may be starting to lose steam, maybe starting to lose control. And then those MACD, but the MACD lines are showing not really too much signs of slowing down quite yet, at least on the 4-hour. Let's take a look at Bitcoin here. That's Kaspa. Bitcoin telling a different story, right? After putting in these highs here, very, very recently, just this week, Bitcoin's coming back for more, right? That's strength, and that makes sense because it's Bitcoin season. It's not altcoin season, right? So we're kind of taking what we can get from the altcoins right now in this month, in this moment, this season, because it's Bitcoin season. Right now, though, Bitcoin is steaming ahead, and it looks to me like we could be making another play here at printing a daily candle above 90K. We have not done that yet. If we go over and look at the daily chart, you can see that the highest we've been able to print a daily candle so far is 88,007. But today would challenge that. If we can print higher, that's good. That's showing investors actually Bitcoin is not done pumping yet. If we look at the oscillators here, we can see that Bitcoin is very much reaching oversold levels. So that's going to be potentially a deterrent for sophisticated investors. They're going to say, hey, hold on a second. Don't hit the buy button. Let's wait for a pullback. Because that's what was going on here. Of course, there was eminently a pullback. So let's look at what that looked like when it translates into price. And of course, this was March, right? This was where there was a big pullback. So we're in similar levels on the oscillators now. The big line that I'm seeing right here is right here. Like we've breached this support. We've breached this resistance on the oscillators. And so what does that tell me? It tells me that Bitcoin is potentially overbought. Now, of course, in a bull market like this, in a frenzy, we do take a little bit less seriously the overbought indicators, but not all investors know that. Not all investors understand how Bitcoin works, and so there may be a slowdown in buying. The MACD telling a very bullish story here. These lines pointing up high and continuing to diverge from one another. So that's a sure sign of strength that the bulls are not done yet. However, the histograms are telling a little bit of a different story, right? You saw consistent acceleration here, and then a big move higher here in the acceleration of these green histograms, and that acceleration rate has slowed. Okay, we haven't seen a histogram come in and try to print lower yet, right? That would be evident of Bitcoin ready to be significantly corrected and come back and test lower. But right now, we've only seen very, very shallow, in my opinion, corrections to the downside. So far, the most significant correction has been about 5.5%. Okay, that's after a breakout out of this descending wedge that we've been in for a while. That's been a breakout of about 31%. Okay, so a 5% pullback and a 31% move higher is not super significant for Bitcoin. What does that mean? It means that investors are loving this coin, and more investors every day are coming in and buying at a higher rate than they're selling. So it's bullish. It's going to continue to be bullish. And if we look here at the inflows, the daily histogram inflows, you can see that it is very, very bullish indeed. The ETFs are buying Bitcoin, and they're buying it in mass. If we look at weekly, we have not had a weekly red histogram here on this chart for a while. Okay, so this is really bullish. I want to get into the economics really quick. Economic news this morning: U.S. inflation rises to 2.6%. This is what was expected. This is what was forecasted, but it is slightly higher than the previous. Okay, Now, what is really strange about this, Crux, is that all of these are completely exactly in line with what was predicted and what was the consensus
Sure.
and the previous. It's very, very strange here, very eerie. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Every single one. So this is the core inflation rate and the inflation rate month over month. And as you can see, they all just are matching the forecast. The actual print for core inflation rate month over month, 0.3, forecasted 0.3. Core inflation rate year over year, 3.3, forecasted 3.3. You get the picture. It's all in line with forecasts. Very strange. Let's actually go ahead and look at what this looks like on the chart, because I keep an economic chart here for inflation rate prints such as this. So we just got a print at 0.6, 2.6. So that would put this chart slightly higher. So it hasn't updated quite yet, but as you can tell, this is probably not going to rock the boat over at the Fed all that much. This is going to be a slightly higher tick higher, right? But it still doesn't get the market far enough. It doesn't get inflation far enough away, in my opinion, from this 2% goal in order for Jerome Powell to consider not cutting. Okay, so that's really the whole takeaway here. Inflation slightly worse. Definitely. This overall print is definitely coming in hotter. Inflation is ticking higher, but it's not at a rate that is startling, I think. So that gives Jerome Powell the green light to continue to cut in December. For all of you who are trading and investing based on the macro liquidity environment, that is the read there from the Bureau of Labor Statistics from this morning. Now, Crux, I have one more headline here, and I want to get your take on this because this is very bullish. President-elect Donald Trump appoints Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy to lead the Department of Governmental Efficiency, D.O.G.E. Maybe you've heard of it. Crux, I want to throw it over to you. What is so bullish about this? Why is this so significant? And then we'll go ahead and jump on into 5 coins that you have done fundamental analysis on, and so have I as well. I'll chime in too. But these are actually the coins that Tim picked yesterday that he's buying. So tell me, Crux, what is so bullish about this headline here? And then we'll go ahead and jump on into those coins.
Yeah, so plugging it back into crypto, we know Doge, the acronym. I think about 4 months ago is whenever Elon Musk first started kind of hinting at what this actually can mean. There's a reason he chose that as the acronym, Department of Government Efficiency. Of course, it's a good name for, a government position, but it ties into the crypto Doge meme, and it's in my opinion, it's awesome. Elon Musk is taking this very comedic approach towards, fixing a lot of real world issues. And, Vivek Ramaswamy, very smart individual. I love watching him, debate other people and just sometimes not even debating, just hearing him on these podcasts. Very interesting individual. I think he has a bright future here in the United States, in terms of crypto and markets and these things. But also government efficiency is a lot bigger than just, financial markets. We're talking about positions like, Elon Musk had issues with FEMA. I want to say about a month or two ago with the hurricane situation and all of these different government positions. We see just like there's so much inefficiency in the government, and a lot of people are making money off of it that probably shouldn't be. So we'll see Elon Musk and how well he'll do in that position. I think that's probably his most important position at this point. And I don't know how much more he can handle on his plate with all the companies he's in charge of, but it's bullish for us crypto holders. So,
yeah. Sometimes you just have to answer the call. You have to serve your country. In this sense, Elon is going to be serving his country to cut waste, and we'll see. We'll just see how painful that gets for this country. If you're just joining us, we have some breaking news here. Robinhood is set to list Pepe, Solana, Cardano, and XRP. These were not previously available on the platform that is widely used here in the United States by investors and traders of the retail variety. Crux, 2 of these, Solana and Cardano, we have set up to do some analysis on. I'm going to throw it over to you. Let's go ahead and get into that.
All right, so first things first, this right here is DeFi Llama. This is what I personally use as an analyst to see the total value locked in these ecosystems. Solana just overtook Tron as the second biggest ecosystem by TVL. What does that mean? So behind Ethereum, we have Solana at just over $7.5 billion worth of US dollars that's locked up into this ecosystem. This right here is all the decentralized apps that exist. So you have liquid staking apps, you have DEXs, and much, much more. This doesn't take into consideration certain tokens like meme coins, but this is more like utility type plays that are locked in these ecosystems. One play in particular, Jupiter, this is kind of the chosen DEX at this point, but whenever this token was around 170 in market cap, I gave a call in one of our newsletters saying that I think that this thing's going to break into the top 100, and this is the reasons why. So Radium is a leading DEX on Solana with a TVL for the TVL being outside the top 150. It was number 170 at the time. Radium is highly undervalued in terms of potential. It ranks as the third largest DEX on-chain crypto exchanges, following Uniswap and PancakeSwap. So we know Uniswap and PancakeSwap did extremely well last cycle, but Jupiter came in and kind of stole the narrative of Solana and the ecosystem and why it's doing very well. However, if we look at, I use CoinMarketCap for this, but the top cryptocurrency exchange, decentralized exchange, and I go by the 24-hour trading volume. So Radium's actually leading crypto. We're competing with Uniswap and these other, large decentralized exchanges. Now, the difference between, Radium and Uniswap is Uniswap's on many, many different blockchains. So you have, Ethereum, you have just at least, I think, 13 different chains that Uniswap's plugged into. So technically, Uniswap's much more, people are using much more Uniswap than they are Radium. However, this to me has been a very solid metric to invest in early. And I think Radium's going to continue to do well. And the reason why Solana is just doing well is you have these decentralized exchanges like Radium and Jupiter that are just absolutely crushing it. And it's not, a lot of people come out and they say that these are fake metrics. Solana is just a ecosystem of people with, or even just bots that are spoofing these metrics. But if I come over here and I can actually see, there's a lot of trading volume that is actually happening. And this does include like the meme tokens and everything else that's built out on Solana. So I think Solana has a bright future. A lot of people ask me, do you think that it's too late for me to get in? And I don't. I think whenever you're looking at the large caps, it's the safest risk to reward in crypto. Large caps being maybe top 15 or so. It's the safest risk to reward, in my opinion. I think you could still get a 10x from here. I think, even seeing like an $1,800 to $2,000 Solana this cycle, to me, it wouldn't surprise me. We just seen it listed on Robinhood. It's getting still just adopted across all these different ecosystems, and I'm super bullish on Solana.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yep. I mean, it's tough to argue with Solana. It's doing really, really well, and it's going to continue to do really, really well if history is any guide.
All right. Should we move on to number 2?
Let's do it.
All right. So this is pretty fun. So the Dogecoin Manifesto. This was the second project Tim talked about yesterday. So we are Dogecoin, the accidental crypto movement that makes people smile. We are developing a cryptocurrency for the people, and we strive to only do good every day. Through this work, we have come to value. And it's funny because you get this movement of, what I talked about earlier with comedy, and you're starting to kind of like laugh at inflation, which you would think that's something not to laugh about, but in reality, you're more laughing at the dollar, which is completely getting absolutely obliterated. It's getting printed into oblivion. And then you have this meme token out of nowhere that's just capturing all this market share. So this is the meme coin choice that we have chosen as crypto investors. But more importantly, you have the Elon Musk effect behind it. We saw that Peanut, a token that wasn't even created, I want to say 10 days ago or so, not too long ago, but it's already broken into the top 60s. And that's only because of one thing, the Elon Musk effect. Without the Elon Musk effect, none of these meme coins are where they're at today. But most importantly, Dogecoin is the leader of this movement. So Pepe, I think, will do well. Pepe, I actually think, is probably the best risk to reward in terms of meme opportunities in this cycle. But, Dogecoin, I still think can do very well this cycle, break into possibly a couple $100 billion in market cap. And it's just kind of like a funny movement led by some very influential figures in the space.
Yeah. No, Dogecoin is one of the only memes that I've held from the bear market, and I'm glad I did. I'm not a big meme guy. I do think that there's a lot of money to be made there, but I've kind of just fixed my gaze on utility coins, and I have been rewarded for that. So Dogecoin, I love it. It's kind of the way that I play the meme cycle, and so far it has done disproportionately well. Has it done as well as Peanut? Has it done as well as Pepe? Well, not as well as Peanut, but but it has outperformed a lot of other memes that especially the Solana camp would have thought probably would have been outpacing Doge at this point. But let's go ahead and jump on into the next coin. We've got about 10 minutes left here. Go ahead and smash the like button for me, bros, and let me know, where are you watching from? We've started this fun trend where people let us know. Man, we've had people from India, from Australia, Japan, and also from the exotic lands of North Dakota as well. So tell us, where are you watching from this morning?
Yeah. So one last quick thing I want to talk about Doge.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, September, I think 18 or so, I made this call with the gem watch list. So I basically said adding Doge to a high risk, very high reward crypto. Not the Doge that we just talked about, Department of Government Efficiency. So this is a low cap crypto that has actually recently turned into a medium cap crypto. But, I'll bring up this chart right here. Let me actually go back. So this right here is where it was September 28th when I made the call at about 0.01.
Wow.
And I want to say it's around 15x or so. And September was not that long ago, especially the end of September. So if you understand how, especially the Elon Musk effect I just talked about, and how meme coins work, and the social aspect, the psychological aspect of these meme coins, get on Twitter. You can start seeing very good opportunities out there, but again, very high risk. They are not the same plays, but there's opportunity.
Uh-oh. He's choking up. He's really emotional about this one here, guys.
There's opportunities out there that exist, and Department of Government Efficiency for you degens out there is it's been working out. So all right, so next project we have is SUI. Going into the white paper, we're going to get pretty nerdy here. What separates SUI from the rest of crypto? The biggest thing is going to be the smart contract language, Move. So within the white paper, the second part of it's talking about SUI smart contracts are written in the Move language. Move is a safe, expressive, and its type system and data model naturally supports a parallel agreement, execution strategies, blah, 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 blah. Basically, what this is it's programmed to rival Rust, which Solana is written in. So now you have these two smart contracts that are completely running the scalability options for crypto. And then if you come to the Solana or the SUI website, rather, you can learn more about what Move is and how it differs in terms of how it's able to make these smart contracts just being efficient. You don't want something like actually the main reason why a lot of these other ecosystems, not going to call any out by name, but the smart contract programming language is the number one reason why a blockchain is scalable or not. Obviously, how congested it is. We talk about how congested some of these networks like Ethereum are, but Ethereum's also not written in Move. If Ethereum was written in Move, it'd be a lot faster and be more efficient and would be able to handle the workload much better than it can now. So now we're starting to get Solana, SUI, and also something to take into consideration is the person who created Move is also behind DM, which was a contractor from Facebook in 2020 or so. And just the names behind, the SUI project and the personnel is just, it's very good.
Yeah, absolutely. That's some good alpha there. It takes a good computer language as well, programming language, as well as good marketing and good marketing timing as well to make a project thrive and get exposure, get noticed, and ultimately get allocated to. Let's jump on into the next coin here, and I'll do a quick check-in on Cardano here. It is getting a little bit of a bid today, up at 57 cents there. So it's
Nice.
Picking itself up by its bootstraps to try and push back up and do the Bitcoin thing and try to retest these local highs. Not quite all-time highs, but local highs they'll do for now. Let's jump on into the next coin here.
All right, the next token is going to be Kaspa. So Kaspa, we have this Crescendo hard fork that's eventually going to be coming into the ecosystem. Crescendo is probably the biggest update that's going to happen, throughout this bull market. What is it doing? It's basically swapping the decentral the DAG from 1 block per second into 10 blocks per second, which essentially provides 10% or a 10x on the throughput on in terms of scalability. That being said, we have this roadmap that we can start looking at possible hard dates on. So you have, the hard fork version. Right now, there's kind of like testing, and then eventually it'll be deployed on the mainnet. Hopefully soon. Hopefully by Q1, Q2 next year. But this is what it turns Caspa into. So this right here is an Explorer. It's not live, but this is BetaNet. Each of these blocks that you see can currently provide about 700 transactions per second at most. But that being said, with the blockchain, it can only go left to right. We're starting to see these things be able to fork out into 10 different options, and that's why it's so important that that you understand the difference between a decentralized acyclic graph and a blockchain. Is because now they have weighting functions that allow you to scale outside of just that normal linear block structure. It just provides just a much more efficient process in allowing these to happen. Just because we know blockchains, you don't want only one option to go to. Like, you have to go to this block. In this term, we have 10 different blocks you can choose from. The most efficient block, we're going with that route, and then we're going to continue moving. So these webs is just it's just a beautiful design. I think it's the future. And Caspa, so Dr. Sutton and the team over there at Caspa, they're the creators of this technology. So we know there's technologies that exist that are DAGs, such as IOTA and Hedera and some of these other projects, but the actual authors of this technology is behind Caspa. And I do think that Caspa one day will break into the top 10, and that's the reason.
There you go. There you go. Awesome. Awesome. You feel good about this list? Ready to keep going?
Yeah. And just lastly, we'll move on to the big old Cardano. You just gave your breakdown on it. We've seen Cardano recently, that within the past week, start gaining traction, and I think that's because of two things. One, you have the lawmakers in Washington that are starting to, at least Charles Hoskinson's, has stated that he's starting to work with the lawmakers in Washington. We know he's done this for quite a while, but now we're starting to see lawmakers in Washington become like crypto, not so much professionals, but advocates of crypto, especially with this new administration. So going into the second story, so Charles tweeted this on October 25th, saying, "Now that Bitcoin's back in the family and innovating again, thanks to Bitcoin OS, I will relaunch the Bitcoin Education Project in 2025. So this is Charles doubling down on why he thinks. So Charles has kind of been left and right as far as like Bitcoin in particular. He has stated some very bearish things about it, but it seems like he's back on Bitcoin's side and he's ready to work for a smart contract solution for the issues that Bitcoin has. The decentralization is good. We know that Charles is part of, I forgot exactly what the agency is, but it's with XRP, HBAR, and a couple other projects that are focused solely on decentralization as the most important thing in terms of the trilemma of crypto. So yeah, it's just nice to see that ADA is getting integrated into Bitcoin, and also Charles Hoskinson is getting integrated into Washington.
Yep, absolutely. And for those of you who have held on to your Cardano, you've faded the haters. You've said, hey, I don't care what people are saying about Cardano. I'm going to hold on to what I've got. You have been rewarded recently. But it is still undeniable that Cardano has underperformed the rest of the market. They have all of the momentum under their wing that Crux just mentioned there, and it will be really, really encouraging to see that continue. Patrick Pasilius said, donating $2, said, Vechain TA. I will do some Lightning Vechain TA here. Let me do that very, very quickly. But Crux, excellent job with the fundamental analysis of those coins. What would you say is the best one to allocate today? If I had an extra $100 sitting in a wallet that I wanted to in USDC, what would be the best one?
Yeah. So first, shout out Tim and Smay. I see them in the chat.
Oh
We've been
boy.
crushing it. I'm super happy with the bros. Like we're out here. We're doing our thing. All right. So in terms of number one risk to reward currently for the rest of the cycle, um, that's a close one. I would say, I did talk about Pepe earlier being the number one in terms of the meme, but in terms of these top five cryptos, I would say SUI. SUI is just so far away from where Solana is in terms of market cap, but in terms of potential, it's actually the closest thing able to rival Solana, and it hasn't been out for even near as long as Solana has, as this is SUI's first cycle. So we're already at all-time highs. We hit all-time highs much faster on SUI. Solana, we're getting close. I think it's 255 or something. But yeah, I think number one project, I'm taking SUI.
Okay. Okay. I like it. I like it. All right, I've got a little bit of TA here set up for Vechain. As you can see, Vechain has been able to effectively break out of this descending line of resistance. We did get that breakout, and now the number to beat here does look like 2 cents. So if Vechain can break out at 2 cents, then it has some room to run. If I throw up some Lux Algo indicators, the price action concepts, I don't see a ton of resistance until up here at 3 cents, 3 cents 6, and maybe 3 cents 5 as well. That could potentially form some resistance. Obviously, this local high here should form some resistance at 3 cents 22. If I turn on I'm interested to see where the reversal clouds are here for Vechain as well, and then we'll look at the oscillators really quickly. Yeah, so it rejected off of the reversal clouds here, so that makes sense. It had a breakout, but so did everything else, right? So I'm not seeing anything special or unique here. We do have a buy rating here from Lux Algo, which is nice to see. Let's look at the oscillators quickly. Overbought. So overbought here, that's not going to attract too many investors and traders that are just looking for a pickup here. More than likely, Vechain is going to have to do what it's already doing, which is come back and find new support. Unfortunately, that may be all the way back down here on this line of 2 cents 3, 2 cents 3 and change before it makes another run up. If there's any kind of bullish news, then that would be good for Vechain and could change some of the analysis I'm doing here. Looking at the MACD, this kind of tells that same story that I'm pretty certain on, is that this would probably be a little bit of a better short, right? You're shorting crypto in a bull market though, so be careful, but this would probably be a better short because you are seeing those green histograms rounding over. The present histogram, live histogram, not able to get up above the previous one. But there is some hope here for the bulls, which is that the MACD lines are continuing to point straight soldier up there. So, overall, Vechain, probably not the one that I'm picking here as my horse. Could be a good short in the long term, back to 2 cents 3. But if I think Vechain will do well. It'll keep pace with the top 200 cryptos, and it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna fly high, like Kaspa or Solana or certainly Dogecoin have the potential to this time around. But Vechain, there you go. Thanks for the super chat.
Real quick. So Bitcoin just broke above 90K, so we're back to all-time highs.
Very nice.
Closing in 90.5K. So,
whoa,
yeah, looking very bullish. This may be Robinhood. Or it could be the investing bros, because yesterday during the afternoon live streams when we were at the 90K. So we retraced since our afternoon live stream. Society, they missed us, and we're back, this morning. So definitely tune in this afternoon as we reach past hopefully 91K. So
look at that. Holy crap. It's at 90,800 over on the Coinbase exchange. Are we about to see 91? We might see 91, but here in just a second.
Just said 91K confirmed.
Okay, that must be on a different exchange. Let's see. Not on Kraken, not on Crypto.com. Usually, okay, there we go, 91. I don't know, Smay, where you saw 91, but this is crazy right here. This is all-time high for Bitcoin. It's happening while we're live. I'm on the hourly chart. We are getting up into the reversal cloud yet again. Now, Bitcoin has shown that it has the buying power here to work its way well into those reversal clouds and even wick up out of the top band. But we are now testing, seeing if we can get an hourly candle to print inside 90,008. If we can, then we could potentially see our first daily candle above 90,000. Actually, it would be above quite a lower number than that. Let me just check here. Yeah, so if we can close this candle above even 88,008, we would have our highest daily candle close for Bitcoin. It's a very bullish time to be in crypto, Crux. Thank you so much for bringing all the fundamental analysis today. It's been a lot of fun. If you haven't had fun, then you're never going to have fun, because we had some fun today and it was great. Go ahead and do me a favor. If you liked our content, consider subscribing, and absolutely make no buts about it, you've got to smash the like button. All the cool kids are doing it, at least. All right, bros. Thank you so much for watching. What I would leave you all with is a little bit of a word of advice, which is don't be shorting crypto. I know I mentioned I called out a short that you could potentially take. Don't be shorting crypto unless you are extremely experienced, or you're just kind of doing it for fun using a small amount of money. And keep your stop losses tight and make sure that you're staying hydrated. I've already put back a whole bottle this morning, so make sure you're staying hydrated and having fun. So with all of that, Crux, anything to say as we go?
Yeah, so Web3 Wednesday is going to start early. It's going to start right after this live stream. I have a pretty busy morning, as last Monday I lost my tooth, or the cap. So I have to put that back in. I got my appointment for this morning, and we're going to go ahead and jump into Web3 Wednesday. We're going to talk about, Peanut, Doge, Pepe,
That's right.
and all the stuff that sometimes we don't talk so much about on the show. But we have a great time on Web3 Wednesdays. Also, for the Discord server, we have something called Fundamental Fridays. And after the afternoon live streams on Friday, sometimes we'll get as much as 60 people plus that are in there. So Fundamental Fridays gets crazy. That's where you can come in and ask questions, and we just have a great time as a community in there. So I'll see you guys for Web3 Wednesdays, Rolex members, right after this.
All right. Smash the like. Adios, bros.